though summer hasn't officially begun on our calendars, if you're like me, it has begun in your heart. I think that the summer season is in full force, at least in terms of fashion and aesthetic, and I'm so ready to talk about some of these fashion trends for summer 2022 that are way more classic than they are trendy. I feel like trends are pretty impossible to avoid because they're literally everywhere. They're in the palm of our hand, in the form of our phones and social media, to the grocery store checkout line, to pretty much anywhere that you shop or look, there's going to be some kind of exposure to things that are trendy. And that's why I love to take these seasonal trends and look at, okay, if I do want to shop and do want to be trendy for this season, what are pieces or trends that I can invest in that will last me beyond this season and for many years to come? By doing this practice, we can be not only more intentional consumers, but we can also fill our closets with things that are true to our personal style and not just true to what the media is telling us should be in or stylish right now. So in today's video, I'm talking about 6 trends that are way more timeless than they are trendy. I even already have some of these kind of trends in my wardrobe, and you might as well. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So the very first trend that I want to talk about might come as a shock to some people. I've definitely seen this trend a lot all over social media, and I think it has a lot to do with this kind of Y2K or early 2000s resurgence that we're finding, and that is platforms. I actually really love platforms. I think they're really cute. Lately, we've been seeing it in the form of platform sandals for the spring and summertime. And even though it's definitely possible that this is over the top or unwearable or kitschy or tacky, I think there's totally a way to do platforms that doesn't feel overtly trendy and feels way more wearable and more timeless. I think that having a more subtle platform, maybe something in a neutral, or even something that goes back a long time, like clogs, is a really easy way to wear this trend without feeling like you have this piece that you could only wear for this season or next season and then be done with it forever. I have 2 pairs of clogs with kind of a really slight platform, and I think they're totally wearable across a variety of seasons and a variety of styles. The second trend that I think is way more timeless than it is trendy is the color trends that we're seeing for spring and summer 2022. We're seeing a lot of really beautiful, bright colors. Think bright pink, green, yellow, purple, gorgeous colors that are everywhere in nature and that kind of lean into this whole dopamine dressing trend overall that we're seeing for this entire year. If you haven't heard of dopamine dressing yet, I plan on doing a whole video about it. If that's something you would be interested in, let me know down below in the comments, but it's essentially dressing to make you happy or to boost your mood, and color is definitely one of the ways to do that. Color definitely doesn't have to be set to a specific style persona, it doesn't have to be for a specific season, and it definitely doesn't have to be a trend. You can wear it in many ways no matter what. So if you're interested in adding more color into your wardrobe, I would suggest starting small, like with a bag or with a scarf or with your makeup or other accessories. This is an easy way to kind of breach your comfort zone a little bit with trying something new. We're also seeing a lot of really colorful tailoring. So head to toe colorful suits or skirt suits, and a suit or tailoring I think is always timeless and really wearable because you can style the separate pieces separately. This is definitely something that is out of my comfort zone, but if I were to try it, I would probably try it in activewear, swimwear, and accessories. The third trend that I think is way more timeless than it is trendy is the coastal grandmother aesthetic. Now, this is probably my favorite one because it touches on an aspect of my personal style that I've had for so long. So when I say coastal grandmother, I want you to think about Diane Keaton in Something's Gotta Give, or Nights in Rodanthe. Think of Cape Cod, New England style. Think of slightly preppy meets accessible beachwear, and you have the coastal grandmother aesthetic. This is a really beautiful, just kind of style vibe that we're seeing all over the place. Things like linen, light blue, easy to wear shoes, things that feel super effortless, but also really classy and timeless. If you want to inject a little bit of the colors of the ocean or the beach into your wardrobe this summer, the coastal grandmother aesthetic is one that is transcending trends, I really think, and is going to be wearable just forever and ever and ever. Right alongside the coastal grandmother aesthetic, another trend we're seeing that is way more timeless than it is trendy is stripes. Now, there are definitely trendy ways to do this: super thick stripes, super thin stripes, super colorful stripes, etc., etc., etc. But in general, stripes are a really accessible pattern for most people. And if you were to ask somebody who didn't like to wear patterns what the one pattern in their wardrobe was, it would probably be stripes. Going for something classic like a bright and striped top or a pair of vertical striped pants, I think, is a really easy way to get in this. Blue and white stripes is another really easy way to both do the coastal grandmother aesthetic and this kind of stripes trend that we're seeing now. So if you want to add a little bit of pattern to your wardrobe and are interested in stripes, then you can both look trendy and put pieces in your wardrobe that are going to last you for many, many years and will be perpetually stylish. Next is less of a trend and more of a style basic, honestly, and that's what makes it so classic. We're seeing a lot of styling with a ribbed white tank top. I've recently added one to my spring summer wardrobe, and it is such a versatile piece, and that's why I'm so glad to see that it is trending right now. This is the kind of piece that you will add to your wardrobe and find just an infinite number of ways to style it, which is so great. It makes sure that you're making use of the pieces that you own, but you're also feeling with it and on trend and stylish if that's something that concerns you. If you want to go for something a little bit more modern or a little bit more minimalist, you could go for not just your standard white tank, but one that has cutouts right here, one that bears a little bit more shoulder, one that is slightly more halter style, one that is cropped, one that has a built-in bra. There's so many iterations of this specific piece that you can find something that works for you if it's a piece that you're interested in for this season. And the last trend that I think is more classic than it is trendy is one that I am obviously partial to, and this is crochet. Now, I've been wearing crochet pieces since I was a little girl because my grandmother is just the crochet queen. So I always had little crochet purse or bags or shirts, and so this trend brings just like a lot of nostalgia for me. And if you've watched my spring summer capsule wardrobe video, which I'll link up here if you haven't, I actually have a crochet cardigan in my wardrobe that my mom and my grandmother crocheted for me at Christmas time for my birthday. And while there are definitely ways to make crochet less accessible of a trend, like head to toe crochet or crochet pieces that bear a lot of skin that are very specific for the season, I also think there are a lot of ways to make this a really kind of classic style, especially if your personal style leans a little bit more bohemian or a little bit more 70s or retro. Crochet cardigans and vests are a really beautiful option that are easy to wear, and things like crochet cover-ups can be used for many, many seasons to come, especially if you've invested in something that is beautifully made. Now, do keep in mind that if the crochet trend is something that you're interested in, there is not a machine that can replicate the crochet stitch, so it must be done by hand. That means that any mass-produced crochet pieces is a really labor-intense process, so you want to make sure that you're acquiring your crochet pieces in a responsible and ethical way. This might also be a really good time to pick up a new hobby if you want one for the summertime. All right, so those are 6 trends that I find way more timeless than trendy. Looking through the trends that are circulating around and picking out the ones that make sense for your personal style is a great way to feel like you are staying current and staying modern without over-consuming or buying something that you're only gonna wear for one season. If you've made it this far, I wanna say thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already. Give this this video a big thumbs up and comment down below which one of these trends is your favorite, or if there are any timeless trends that I missed that you think we should bring up in the comments. As always, it's such an honor to spend this time with you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye!